Perfect.
Hey everybody, we know there's a lot of questions about how to make sure your students all have access to Online Wonders and the work that you're doing. So Sean is going to walk us through, and I'll try to answer questions along the way. And of course, if you end up having questions after watching this video, please reach out to us and we would be happy to help.
Okay, well, welcome to Wonders tutorial. And we're certainly glad you're here. And I just want to say that you guys are doing such a great job. And I'm just, it's still kind of strange to say, but I'm really proud of what you're doing for our kids. So thank you. And know that Rachel, Kara, and I are here for you guys beyond this, and whatever you might need, please reach out. So anyway, let's start. So I'm going to do this as if you have no idea what you're doing. So some of you are going to go like, okay, I know all this. So please just ignore that. I'm just kind of trying to make it as specific as I can for those who have maybe not had the opportunity to use Wonders. So you're looking at my screen, and I'm just going to walk you through. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to your Google. And you are going to log in through your Drive. And Rachel's face is in my way. So
right. Let me see if I can move that.
I got you moved. You're good. Okay, so you're going to go to your, I call it a waffle. I'm not sure that's technically correct or what, and then you're going to go through your Drive. A lot of times people will tell me they don't have access to it, but it's because they didn't log into their Drive first, so make sure you do that. Okay, then go back to your waffle, and you're going to scroll all the way down, and you're going to see a red McGraw-Hill icon. Click on that. You can see I have Chelsea's email on here because I do some stuff for her. So click on yourself, and you make sure you click, if you have a home one and a work one, make sure you click on the work one. Okay, so this is what you're going to see. I, of course, have lots of content claimed on mine, but let's say you don't have that. So what you're going to do is you're going to see this yellow redeem content button. You're going to click on that. Okay, and it's going to ask you for master codes. We are going to put the master codes, and I'm just going to open one right now for myself. We are going to put the master codes on the WPS Google group forum. What's it called, Rachel?
It's a Google group, and it's the Extended Learning name.
Okay, so we'll put this on there. You can see that we have access to all of the Wonders material. Sorry, I got a little off here. So if you're from STEM, you have a separate letter, and I will put that one on there too. Please make sure when you're grabbing this, STEM, you grab yours. It's clearly labeled STEM. Everybody else, do not take STEMs and take this one. It is not specific to a school. So what you're going to do is you're going to need both the teacher's workspace and the student workspace for your level. Okay, so I'm just going to take one really nice thing you can do, you guys, is you can just cut and paste, which makes it really nice because you're going to paste it right in. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to copy it, whoops, copy it, and then I'm going to go back to my Wonders, and I'm just going to paste it right in this first box. It'll separate it for you.
Sean, can I interject for a second?
Absolutely.
Okay. So like Sean was saying, she's walking us through from the very beginning as if you hadn't set up Wonders before. So if you already are a Wonders user and using this in your classroom, you did this a long time ago. So you're just going to click on the content that you already have on your screen.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. Perfect. Okay, you're going to click next. I have no idea why it's saying that. Let me just go grab.
Oh, it's because it says because you've already added that content.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I'm just going to cancel because then it's going to just ask me to take it, and then I already have it. Once I have the teacher's edition, which I already have, then I'm going to go back and grab the student edition and do the exact same thing. Okay. So I'm going to actually grab this just in case I don't have this one. I don't know what all I have on my account. I'm going to grab this just in case I don't have it. Paste, next. Oh, right here, this is good. Right here, it's just gonna say end date. Just click on the calendar and just pick something in July. It really doesn't matter. Just pick like July 1st. And then create redemption codes and then click OK. Okay, then you can cancel out of this. You're then going to go back to your home page and you're going to go ahead and get into that materials that you have that you just grabbed. So I'm going to go into the 3rd grade one since that's the one I know I now have. Jeff's going to join us. You're joining our tutorial on Wonders. Okay, so now we're going to build a class. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into your Teacher's Edition and click on that. Say OK here. And this is everything that is available to you on Wonders. So we're just going to talk about how to build a class. So you're going to go to Manage and Assign, top bar, dark blue, and then you're going to go to Class Details. And click on that. Okay. Once you're here, you're going to click on Students. Now, here, you guys, you're going to be tempted to try to narrow this down. It doesn't work very well if you do, so please just leave all of that as is. And what you're going to do is you're going to put in your student's first name and your student's last name, and that's it. You also do not need the student's full name. You can put it in, but if you do the first 3 letters of the first name, first 3 letters of the last name, it will find it for you. So can Rachel or Josh give me a name of a student you know is in the district? I didn't think of one.
That's in 3rd grade.
It doesn't have to be.
Oh, it doesn't have to be 3rd.
Yeah. Let's just say maybe Martinez. Let's see if that will work. Okay, so I just put in MAR, and you can see I have lots of, this is pulling from the entire district. So these are all the kiddos that match that criteria. So you can just find your student. Sometimes students, like it looks like this, Marcus Martinez is in here twice. That does happen because they have this, sometimes the middle initial will help you decide if it's your right student, but sometimes they're just in there twice. I always just pick the first one. So let's pick this kiddo and I'm going to click on him. And I'm going to scroll over here and do save. I will take this kid out of my class. So, okay, then I'm going to hit save. And that kiddo is now in my class. And then I'm going to go back to students. And I'm going to just add, then I would add the next student and the next student. And I would just keep doing this until my class is built. So now you're going to have a list of kiddos that are in your class. This is the step that a lot of people miss. So it's really important that you do that, to do this next step. So if you look, you'll see this little guy up here. Click on him and go back out to the Connected screen. It's going to take you right back out where you just were. Go to your content. And I am going to, so what you have to do now is you have to assign the content to those kiddos. So they're in my class, but they don't have access to the content yet. That's what I'm going to do now. So hit assign content. You're going to click on Wonders and hit next. Then scroll down and you're going to see a list of your kiddos. Now I only have Marcus in my class, but you'll have many more. If you click on this top box, it'll assign it to all your kids. Click next. And then you're going to hit assign. I will not, because Marcus will be confused. And so then that will assign the content to your kiddos. So I'm going to not do that. Once that's done, now you can go back to your home page just by clicking that little thing at the top. And I'm going to go back into my 3rd grade content. Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. Some of you are going to want to do adaptive learning. This is a program through WonderWorks, which is the interventionist program for Wonders. The adaptive learning is a great resource, especially for any learners who are still basically at the phonemic awareness phonic kind of stage of learning. So they possibly are just really still learning those basics of reading. It can work. There are some things in it for our little bit higher students. So there is some comprehension. those types of skills, but it's not necessarily great for them. I think there's probably things out there better for those kiddos. But let's say you have a K, I would say all of our kinder absolutely could use adaptive learning, probably first as well, and probably a lot of second. So this resource is available to you, and I'm going to show you how to access that as well. So I'm going to put the Wonder letter in that shared Google group. I'm also going to put this one in, and this is a WonderWorks letter, code letter. Two things you'll need to grab from this. You're going to need to grab the teacher workspace for your grade level. Unfortunately, the WonderWorks workspaces are all taken for this year, so we don't have any more of those, but actually, we're fine. It's not a big deal. But down at the bottom, you're going to see where it says Adaptive Learning System Students Succeed. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to use this adaptive learning, so you're going to have to grab that, and you're going to need to grab the WonderWorks. Make sure you get the WonderWorks teacher workspace. If you don't, you're not going to be able to see what your students are doing. They'll have access to it, but you won't. So I'm going to grab grade 3, and I'm going to copy that, and then go back to my Wonders. And I'm going to go back to that same redeem content and put that in. Again, just paste it right in that first box and it'll do it for you. Add content and hit OK. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my letter and I'm going to grab this code. Now remember, do not grab the student editions of WonderWorks. We don't have any left. Grab the adaptive learning. Copy that. Okay, and paste that in. Again, you're going to have to pick the calendar, date, anything's fine.
Sean, can I interject for a second?
Please do.
When you've added new content, just so you know, when you first go in, it probably will ask you to set up a calendar. Is that right? Before to let you have access to anything that you want to do?
Yes. Thank you for saying that. Setting up a calendar and doing all that could be a whole nother tutorial. And if we feel like we need to do that, we absolutely can. For now, I'll probably just click through it because that's probably not that big a deal, but we can absolutely get into that at another time. Thank you, Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so because I have added new content, I went and got the WonderWorks and the adaptive learning. I need to go back into this assigned content. So now you can see not only do I have the Wonders book, but I also have an add-on. So that's what I want to do. Now, it's not going to hurt to reassign the Wonders content. It'll give the kids the same password and everything. So I'm going to click next. And you can assign it to all your kids, even if some of them have already been assigned before. It's not going to miss anything. I'm just assigning it to all of them. It's no big deal. And click next. I am going to assign this to Marcus, and I'll get in there and get it out of there. But I want to show you what to do with his passwords. Okay, and then hit assign. So he now is going to have access to that content. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our third grade teachers edition. I'm going to show you how to pull that. One thing that's going to happen for when this, like Rachel said, when this screen comes up at the very beginning, it's going to ask you to set up that class. It's not asking me to because I've been in here so much, but it's going to ask you to do that. K1-2 teachers, you are probably going to want to click on simplified login. That's going to make it really easy for your kiddos. 3, 4, and 5, your kiddos can get here through their Google Drive just like you do. So if they in fact, there's a simpler because they don't even have to log into that drive, they're just automatically in it. So if they just go through their drive, scroll down on that waffle, they'll have that same McGraw-Hill icon that you have. Click in, they're right there. Okay, but we're going to pretend, so for the older kids, it's super easy. If they can log into their own computers, into their own drives, that's very simple for them. It's a little bit trickier for our younger students. Because if they can log in, that's the easiest way, but if they can't, let's look at what we can do here. So I'm going to have to edit my class because I don't have simplified login. So this is what you'll see when you first log into your thing. Make sure for your younger kiddos, we hit use simplified login. Okay. You can change the picture if you want to. We'll pick a teddy bear, make us all happy, and then hit OK. That's what your kiddos are going to look for when they go to their page, and I'll show you that. So hit save. Okay, now I have simplified login. Now here's going to be the tricky part, you guys, from doing this from home. Because what we need to do is get our kids their passwords. So if I click right here, it says print passwords. It's going to make a PDF of the passwords. Okay, so you'll see it right down here. I'm going to click on that, and you're going to see this is Marcus's, but yours would have, you know, all of these would be filled in with all your students. So the tricky part is that every building, every school has their own URL, and this is specific to your school. So if the kiddos just go to McGraw-Hill, they're not going to find you, and it's not going to work. So they have to go to this specific URL. I'm not sure exactly how we want to do that. Every school may want to do it a little bit differently. You could take a snapshot of this, get it to your kids, have an adult type this in. They have to type it in the whole thing just like they see it here. Okay, and then this is the kiddo's going to look for a teddy bear when they. I'll show you what this looks like. The kid's going to look for a teddy bear that says this kiddo's going to look for my class, and then his going to look for his giraffe with his name on it, and then this is their password. Kindergartners can do this, you guys, and they literally have this memorized after one try with it. So it is very, very simple. I'm going to go to this URL. I'm going to go here to the site, and I'm going to 6 Banana Star. I'm going to show you what they're going to see. So when they go to that, they're going to find me, and there are lots of teachers on here. I don't even know who's it. This looks like it might be, I don't know, Miss Fox, you're on here too.
Yeah.
Looks like this might be Flynn's. It must be the last school I was attached to. So they're going to find me, and they have no problems doing this. They're going to click on me.
Oh, I think the other one is Katie Fox. It's not me.
Oh, it's not you. Okay. They're going to go to them. Rachel, do you remember the was it 6 Banana Star, I believe?
Yeah.
So it's that simple. That's how simple it is for them to log in. They log in, and then this little kiddo is going to be in. Oh, it's Mesa I'm attached to. Okay. So it looks like this kid must be in someone's 5th grade class. They already have that, so I will make sure I get this out there. So if they go into my 3rd grade one, here is all of the work, all the things they have access to. So if you assign things, and again, that's another tutorial we can do, then they're going to see it on their to-do list. They're going to come here. It's a past assignment. They can click on it, and it'll go right to whatever it is you assign them to do. Their home page is right here. If you just go back to that, they can get on and look at words to know. They can do writing. They can play the games. They can read the books. This is the adaptive learning I was talking about. So if you did not assign that to your kiddos, then they won't see that. But if you did, it's right there. For adaptive learning, it's so nice because you really don't have to do anything. It will take them through a pre-test, basically. It looks like a video game. I'm not going to do it because it will then think Marcus is actually doing this. It'll give them a pre-test. It'll walk them through it. It will then just start teaching them and doing a little assessments with them, and it'll adapt with them. So every child will be moving at their own pace. You'll get reports on your computer, and you can see their progress, and you can talk to them about what they're doing. One thing about this page, you guys, is it is attached to your calendar. So if we look at your calendar, we can go back out here. Oops, it's wanting me to stop my tutorial. Let me get back in here. Just a second.
While Sean's looking for that, I'll just add that. So once your calendar is set up, Wonders kind of runs itself. So every day your student could get on, and the story that you would have been reading in class would have shown up there, and they can listen to it again. So you don't have to assign anything to students for them to have access to the weekly content.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too, Rachel. So that's great. The one thing about it is you have to have your calendar set up in order for that to work, because they are going to see. So right now, Marcus is going to see I'm on unit 6, week 6. That's what my calendar is saying. But I can change that. Rachel, do we want to go into this, or is that a whole nother thing?
Let's do that as a separate. Let's say step 1 right now is to make sure students have logins and can get to their content. And then we'll take other steps to adjust calendars, show you how to assign content if you want them to do a specific vocabulary activity, or if you really want them to listen to the story again, you can make those kinds of choices.
Okay, so we're gonna stop here. You've redeemed your content and you've been able to create a class. So those are the steps that this tutorial will help you do. And then watch for further tutorials if you need more assistance.
Nice. And if you have any questions as you're working through this, definitely reach out to Sean or myself and we can help you if you get stuck. Sean, I know one question that comes up a lot is people will search for a student and there are times when they don't find them at all. So what's the step for that?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we're getting fewer and fewer of those because tech has kind of kept up with that. If that happens, traditionally, when we were in the buildings, I would tell teachers to put in a help desk ticket for that specific kiddo. I think you could probably still do that, and tech services will help you find that student. Another thing you can do is you can just put them in under another student. It's not going to hurt anything. That would be the other option. Kids can share accounts, like I've had in classrooms before we figure out how to get it fixed, where they've just had the same kid use, several children use the same login, and Wonders does not stop that from happening. So if you had to do that, you could. You might do that until tech services gets it fixed if you can't find a student, or you really could just find some random student and get them in the class and give your kiddo that password. So let us know if you're having problems with that, and we'll try to think about how we might circumvent that problem.
Awesome. Sean, thanks for helping with us with this, and to everybody, thank you so much for doing all this great work for your students.
See you guys.
Stop the recording.